I am a very hungry man. In Minecraft and in real life, we're going on just about 580 days in this world, and so far, this is my food situation. We come here, pop down to my basement, and we do this. Up until now, that has sufficed, but I fear that my appetite has outgrown my productivity. It's time for an upgrade, which is why in today's episode, we are going to be building a functional food market. Yep, you heard that right. We're doing a food market. I meant to say fruit stand or a fruit market or a veggie stand. Anything but a food market. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's an idea I've had like for a while now, and I figure now is the time. For those of you who watched the last episode, we are fresh off of building this thing for Wilmer and Willow. Let's go check up on them quickly. I think Wilmer and Willow are liking their new home. They haven't been there for quite that long. We've just built this in real life. So here we have Willow over here looking off into the distance. And we have Wilmer here. They won't look at each other for some reason. Something I forgot to mention and actually do in the last episode was in the storage over here. It's not just decorative. We actually moved all of our saddles and our horse armor into this stable here. For a bit more context, this is indeed where I've been getting my food lately, and for the most part, it works pretty well. The reason that I decided that now is the time to switch it up is that last episode we needed hay bales, and I was doing the same method with the hay here. Boy, was that long for nothing. So we're gonna have an upgrade. There it is. That's our upgrade. Episode's done. Bye-bye. Nah, I'm just goofing. This is, in fact, the upgrade, however. This is the main part of today's project that I will actually be interacting with, though there is going to be a bit something else to kind of supplement this right here. So I won't spend too much time on this. It's inspired by a micro farm. I knew that micro farms existed, but for the life of me, without a tutorial, I never would have figured out that a piston smacking above a plant break it. So this is basically a micro farm design. I'll put the link in the description that I followed, that I kind of tweaked just a wee bit to make it a bit wider, to make it look nicer. And essentially what I have to do is put this lever on. That activates this circuit up here. That basically just triggers the observer nonstop to set the piston off. Like that. So all I have to do is come here in this corner, aim at the garden block, what's it called? The tilled soil, and just spam my right click. And then just look at my potatoes go up. So we're going to have one here for potatoes. We're going to have one here, same circuit for our carrots. Whew. And we're going to have another one here for our wheat. Well, hello. And like mentioned before, essentially this is pretty much the upgrade. However, this is kind of just small and compact. It could be cool, but I have a whole other build designed around this. So it's time for this episode to really kick off. We have our materials here for the build. I won't scroll, it doesn't matter. You guys will see when it's done. The important thing is we have just shy of 3,000 blocks to get just for the structure in and of itself. And there are quite a few things here that I don't know how to get. There's a lot of terracotta, and right now in my world, I have exactly none except for this piece here. So I know there's a way to actually like farm it, but when we were streaming last time, we came across a mesa biome somewhere off that way. So I think I'm going to go through my screenshots and find the coordinates, and we're going to go there and just get as much as we can. Most likely what I'll do is try to get the most of the regular terracotta that I can, and then just dye it back here. Other than that, I think we can get our hands on pretty much anything. I just have to check out like for the cyan dye and the orange dye, but I think I have pretty much everything I need at home except for the terracotta. All right, this is a bit of a weird transition, isn't it? Let me explain. In that last clip, I was preparing to go to get terracotta for our fruit market, and I kind of realized something. I think it's about time for me to get a beacon, right? I mean, we need a bunch of blocks. Beacon seems like would be appropriate at this time in my world. So we hopped into a live stream and we worked on getting some wither skulls. Fortunately, I already had one, so I figured, hey, it won't be that bad. It'll be really easy. Well, I I got the skulls, but it cost me greatly. As you can probably tell, I lost all my swag. The only thing I saved was this fortune tree pickaxe and pretty much what was in here. All of my netherite gear, my elytra, it's all gone. So these last 2 days, which not 48 hours, but small sessions during the last 2 days, I kind of took some time to recuperate and went back to the nether and finished off our grind, and now we actually have 3 wither skeleton skulls, so we'll be able to summon a wither sometime soon and take care of that, get a beacon, but I am short of my wings and good armor and gear. So the pace is going to slow down just a wee bit. I think what I'm going to do is just quickly, from your perspective, go end raiding to get some more wings and get myself semi set up. We're not doing the netherite grind in this episode, that's for sure. Just to get myself set up so I can keep on building. So here's a quick montage of that, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Now that took way longer than expected, but we're back in action. We're back on track. In these shulker boxes right here, we have pretty much everything we need to actually build the structure. The only things I don't have is for whatever's going on the inside, because we're gonna just do that afterwards. I don't know exactly how I want it to be. This is mostly what we're gonna be using regularly in the world. So we have a beacon and we have some gear here. We're pretty well set up for now. Obviously it's not as good as we were at the beginning of the episode, but I have another silk touch pickaxe, a decent sword, decent axe, and some decent armor. For those of you wondering what that armor was that I was wearing in the montage, it's my Dragon Slayer armor. I used it in a pinch, but I don't want to lose it. We're going to keep it in here. I have plans for it, but later down the line. But anyways, enough of that. I think finally it's about time we actually get to building. Of course, first we're going to have to do a little bit of terraforming to make this a bit more suitable. And there we are. I think right here from my balcony is probably the best, well, not the best, but my favorite view of the place. Let's take a look around from other points in the village. This is it face on. We're in the stable right now. On this side we have like 3 little multicolored windows, and I was planning on having windows on the side here, but I couldn't figure out the way to make them look not just weird, mostly due to our like actual shape of the roof. I kind of like the look of the solid wall here, and we have windows on the side. And it might not have been obvious from the time lapse, but the actual roof itself is half and half windows and planks, kind of mimicking a greenhouse effect, which fits with the theme of it being a fruit and vegetable market. So when you actually go on the inside, it's quite lit up. And hopefully now you guys have a bit of a better idea of what the actual plan for this building is. So this would be like the actual market in and of itself. We could probably decorate the outside a little bit more. And like this is where I could rapidly get the stuff that I actually need. But we still have the actual building here with the actual stuff. So right here we can put a sign. This will be the maintenance area. We'll write employees only. And this is just an area for getting behind the machines, and if I need to fix something, if something breaks, and have an easy access. And I'm thinking of stocking this up, as well as these barrels here, with bone meal. Yeah, refuel station. And we have some hidden lighting here with the jack-o'-lanterns. So we can actually get rid of this torch. And it's subtle, but this should be just lit up enough so that I don't have any mob spawning. And then over here, I don't have a concrete plan for the inside, but I went ahead and put walls in already, since my first instinct would usually be to have this all open and then like decorate the walls on the outside and usually have like an empty middle. And I wanted to kind of do something different this time, so I went ahead and put walls in to divide the rooms ahead of time, and then we'll work with what we have left. So we have a little room here. We can have something in, as well as a back room over here. And this kind of looks cool. It's just the backside of the stairs. I don't know, I just like the way it looks. So if we go back over to here, we have this little room that has the stairs that lead us up to our second floor, which is like a second floor and a half, I guess. We have a little section here and down here. So here we are back in the day, and like I said, with the big windows here and the ceiling being the way it is, it kind of looks odd, but at the same time it's really well lit up, and I think it kind of works with the vibe of it being a sort of greenhouse type of place, and it's quite colorful. So down here we have another little pair of steps with this like mini room, and we can go outside to where we have a little deck. What I want to do with this building is it's mainly decorative, and what we're going to mainly be using is that little like fast food market up front here. The actual building itself is going to be also kind of functional. So we have carrots, wheat, and potatoes out front, and I'm thinking of having most of the other growable like vegetables and fruits still growing here that I can pick manually. So anything that I don't need in as big of quantities, we'll have it in here. So like melons and pumpkins and stuff. So I think I'm gonna get to working on the inside, getting it divided up. I think I'll just bring you guys back when I get a bit of progress done, and we can kind of see my thought process behind it all. Alright, so I think we're going to start off with the little maintenance area, and I'm thinking a mix of granite and polished granite should look pretty cool. It's like very earthy tones. Yeah, I'd say this works well enough. Some granite left behind. I think we could extend it for this section at least. I think it would work quite well. Let's see what it looks like. Now, the issue that we have is this section here, due to this being walls. If I turn them into full blocks, it won't look quite right. Well, we'll lose some depth. So we could, I think for this room here, we're going to extend the flooring outside, but eventually when we like cover this up, and we'll add decorations to the outside here, so you won't be really blah, blah, blah. Eventually we'll extend the terrain out a bit, but we'll add decorations here, so really you won't be able to tell. And over here, whoops, on the further room, we're going to leave the floor, I think, as is, since this is meant to be where we're going to be growing some things, so having grass makes sense. Alright, so just underneath the sign that has the employees only thingy, we're going to have a welcome sign, so we're going to put welcome to, and then eventually I'll think of a name for the place. I didn't actually know you could hang signs like this, and I think it looks pretty cool. So now I have to figure out what we're going to do with these rooms here. So I think for the bigger things, like the melons and whatnot, we're going to have them downstairs since it's more spacious, and then we're going to have like little sections here, like kind of like little kiosks kind of, for like beetroot and whatever. I think in this section here, we're gonna have some jungle logs to hang some cocoa beans on to make brown dye and whatever cocoa beans are good for. Okay, slight problem. I have no cocoa beans anywhere. I thought for sure I had some. Alright, so this is what we've come up with for the first section. Before heading through this door, I'd actually like to mention that these doors were meant to be the oxidized, like the completely green ones. So I figured I'll just let these rust and see how it looks, but I actually quite like the look of these being like they are, so we might have to find out how to get some honey eventually and wax these because they look nice like this. Come over here and pick your own beans. We have our little jungle section right here, which looks pretty much like this. Quite functional. I'm not sure about the decoration, but I think it looks nice. It's kind of like, I don't know, jungle vibey. So on the left hand side here, we just have a bunch of jungle logs with some vines. I didn't know that could happen. Cool enough though. I kind of want it to look a bit overgrown. So we have jungle logs and some vines, as well as our cocoa beans growing here, so I can pretty much harvest as much as I want, and they grow quite fast. I got the bamboo scaffolding here with some jungle trap doors to act as little tables for like workstations or whatnot. And over here we have a little storage thing kind of going on. And on this side I just have some bamboo growing with some more vines. This is really just decorative. I have bamboo growing somewhere else. And this would be the little doorway. I put composters with some leaves to make a bit of a plant here to keep it feeling jungly. So next up would be just over here in this section. We have this room and this back room over here that still needs something. And I'm thinking we're going to put our pumpkins and our melons in here. All right, so I think before showing you guys what I did on the inside of the rooms, it could be cool to look in from the windows here. So this is the one we did with the jungle theme, the cocoa beans and whatnot. And it looks really cool. If we go over here, out back, I suppose, you guys can kind of see what I've done with the pumpkin room. Now, these aren't the best decorated things since I need a lot of space on the floor to actually grow everything, but I think it's okay for the amount of time that we're actually going to spend there. So here is the melon room. So here is pretty much just a path. There's nothing much on this walls here because otherwise it'll block the way. But we have like a little closed off area here to grow the watermelons with some waterlog leaves. And we've got sugarcane to kind of like act as a makeshift barrier, although we can still walk through it. So we can easily harvest our stuff, and we have some storage here. And through this door, we've got like a little bit of a hedge situation going on here to like lead us down the path. And we have our little pumpkin area where we can let these grow and harvest them. I still got to fill it out a bit, but I'll harvest these pumpkins and fill it out with as time goes on. I've also used some pumpkins as some hidden lighting. So we got some jack-o'-lanterns behind here, as well as some in these little columns here. Not the most subtle things in the world, but I think it looks nice. It fits with the theme a bit. So now with this done, this is the functional part. We can head up upstairs and get on with the second floor with the more decorative part of the build. And this is what I'm most excited about. We're still going to be having some function here. I'm going to install something to plant some beetroot, and I think that's pretty much all we have left to plant. I think there's no other plants, maybe some glowberries, that could be cool, but the rest is just going to be decorative and kind of like role playing. So I think for this one I'm really going to just do it and then show you guys afterwards and see if you guys can guess as to what I'm doing. But before doing any of that, it's time for a new segment in our Land of Wanderers series. We're going to call it the Comment of the Day. So during our last episode, we had Malevolent Sunshine who said, you should get a donkey. And about that, say hi to our second camel, Wilfred. And also we did get a donkey. He's right here. I'll leave the honor of naming our new buddy to you guys down in the comments. Oh, time to skedaddle. Whoa! Alright, welcome back. We've put the shaders back on for what is about to happen, and a few episodes ago I actually turned these off because I felt like it was too bright on my eyes, especially during long sessions, but man does it look nice. Now I kind of want to put them back on. I might have an issue. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys really like it with shaders on more, we can have them on. If not, we'll go back to vanilla. Like, I like both. I feel like I go in phases. But anyways, enough yipping and yapping. This is our fruit market. So we have our entrance here, and I got the 2 torches. Those are not torches, those are lanterns. And I've redone just this a bit with some mud. I have a little bit more, but I don't have that much, so we might extend it eventually when we get to working on some paths. But for today, this shall suffice. And I think it looks really nice. So let's go through our front door and ignore the visitors over there. Alright, so over here we have our maintenance room. With the shaders, you can kind of see the lighting more than without the shaders. But yeah, it hasn't really changed all that much. And if we come into here, I've used the packed mud for the pathing here as well. I'm thinking about maybe changing this eventually. We'll see once we get to terraforming this, but I might extend it just to make it look a bit neater. We have this room that you've already seen. I've changed nothing in here, I believe, except for adding the packed mud for the pathing as well. Oh, we've also got pretty much a full section of pumpkins. Now, for the really fun part, if we head upstairs, we have our first little section here, which just has a bunch of plants around, and I really like the look that it has. And look at the lighting that happens because of the glass in the ceiling. It really shows a lot with the shaders. So here is the main room. I don't know if you guys figured out what I was doing, but it's kind of like a mini cafe slash smoothie shop. So over here we have the counter where the worker would be working. Long live smoothies on sale. And we have some decorations out back, just some stuff to work with, like a smoker, which could be like a blender or something, or a little oven. And some storage to store the stuff. I got a painting here to fill in the space. And we have these glowberries vines here, which I think I could probably bone meal to have a bit more berries on them. Let's not do too much, maybe like 2 more spots. Say here and up here. Yeah, that's nice. With that separating the windows and with them being multiple colors, I think it really sells the place. I really like it. We have this little shelf design here just to limit the berries growth and have a little something on this wall. Same with these. These have no purpose. It's just to fill in the space a bit. We have a little table here. I've only put 2 chairs. I guess I could put more, but I think that works. Like most people probably standing up. We have a little plant here. And like I mentioned, it is semi-functional. So we have some berries here, there as well. And we have some beetroot growing. So if I ever need some, I can still get my hands on it. Not in mass quantities, but for how much I'll actually probably use in this world, I think that should be fine. And last but not least, if we head outside in the pouring rain, we have the little balcony, and I just pretty much, without too much rhyme or reason, put a bunch of little seats and little tables, a little parasol, just to have a place to sit down and relax while drinking your smoothie made by our barista over there. So this was a fun project. I think it's hard. This might be my new favorite build, but I also really like that one. I think it depends on the time of day. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing on the next episode just yet. It's not a lack of ideas. It's just a lack of which one I should do. So we'll see. If you guys have anything you want to see in particular, then let me know down in the comments as well. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Make sure to tickle that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Last thing. I'll finish off the video by just walking through the place without any shaders. So for any of you guys who want to see that, stick around for the next minute. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye for now.